because I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day.
Go on, Gareth, your heavyweight discussion.
Yeah, I mean, we were talking out there. Do you think Anthony Joshua's holding out for Tyson Fury at the end of the year now? I think that's the fight he should do now. I really do. But it looks like they're trying to elongate Anthony Joshua's career. I cannot see who the opponent's going to be right now in December, other than the big cash-out fight with Tyson Fury. But you tell us, this isn't news, but you tell us, because it makes sense, that Tyson's fancying a fight in late summer. But I just don't know who that would be.
I mean, I can't speak for Tyson.
Yeah, but you can speak for the rest of the family. You know Tyson very well, and you do know, because they do trust you. I do know that they love you and trust you in your family.
I think if you're asking for my personal opinion,
you're not the mad relative in the attic, you know, like I am at times. But
if you're asking my personal opinion, I think to see Tyson back out in the summer would be fantastic.
Andrew Ruiz,
it's a great fight. That's a good fight. I think it makes sense. I mean, Anthony Joshua not fighting until December. I don't really get that. You know, there are fights there for him to be made, but you know, as you said earlier, Gareth, if he gets beat in the summer, then the Fury fight will never ever happen.
No.
So if it's a case of Fury wants a fight, and then it happens in December, then you know that's where it's at.
Because if Joshua loses, let's say, to a Dillian White or a Otto Wallin or a Tom Schwartz, they could put them in with they could put him in with either of those three.
Or Joyce, if he beats Zhang.
Or Joyce with Zhang. But the loss, even to your company, the loss of a Fury fight against Joshua, everybody, the business point of it is that everyone makes something out of it. Mm-hmm. It's a huge fight for everybody, not least the British fans.
The only fight Joshua could survive losing is Fury.
Yeah, that's right. But it
I
probably is an endgame fight.
I don't think he boxed Wilder, he'd never box again.
No, but exactly. But if he earned, he may as well go. He may as well go for that endgame giant fight, because business dictates that, you know, he's going to earn twice as much for that fight than anyone else.
After that.
Yeah, exactly.
That's you know.
If they go 12 rounds, I mean, they could have two even if it went 12 rounds in the first one.
I agree with you. I mean, you know, if you're talking about, you know, it's just us three talking here. It's about, you know, it's
all talk.
This is a chat round the table, and there's three boxing guys shooting the shit pretty much. The only fight Joshua survives losing is Fury. Yeah. If he gets beat by Wilder, but I don't think that ends well, if you know what I mean. But if he gets beat by any of the other guys,
Joyce,
I think that's it.
Do you think it does?
Just touch wood, everything goes well for Joe this Saturday.
Joe Joyce knocks Anthony Joshua out. I think he stops in a bloody mess. And I think Dubois gives, you know, I think similar with Dubois. I just think, you know, anyone who hunts Anthony down at the moment, I think they're in for a good night.
So if you were promoting Anthony Joshua right now, you'd be looking for that Fury fight for him?
I'd fight Dillian.
Okay. Oh, so you'd fight Dillian.
I'd fight Dillian in the summer, and then, you know, just because I think that's a win-win for him.
Well, it's odd that he's not going to fight till December. I think it also comes down to Derek James saying he wants 6 months with him.
That would be a sensible move, if that is the case.
Yeah.
You know, bide your time.
Just, before we end this discussion, obviously a big night on BT Sport for Joe Joyce. This is a live fight. We know how dangerous Shilai Zhang is early on.
And it's live on TalkSport as well, by the way. We'll all be there, the comms team.
He's always plugging his stuff on my channel, it's all right. Yeah, a big night for Joe Joyce. He's got to come through this. If he does, it's got to be the big fight next, whether it's the Usyk mandatory shot or a Tyson Fury, a big money fight with Anthony Joshua. Daniel Dubois, I don't know what Team Joyce would say about that at this point, but
if Dubois,
if he beats Usyk, you're correct. You're correct. But for Joe Joyce, you're very insistent that put him in against Anthony Joshua right now. He definitely knocks him out. How does he get on with the likes of Fury and Usyk, do you think, Joe Joyce?
It gives him good fights. I I think Tyson Fury is a standout heavyweight of not just our generation, but I think ever. I really do. I think he's got power, precision, skill, speed, durability, an engine. It's nuts every attribute that guy's got, and I don't think I really, you know. Obviously, Daniel and Joe, they're at the Queensberry stable as well. But if you're just talking as a boxing fan, Tyson Fury, I think he's above. He's there. He's in that next level up.
But I still want to see him have 3 more fights. If Usyk beats Dubois, I'd like to see him fight Usyk. If I'd like to see him fight Joshua, and I'd like to see him fight Joyce. I do think he's a standout heavyweight. But
who's got the best opportunity to beat Fury if it happened?
I think Usyk. I think Usyk, because he may if he fiddles about outbox him. I think Fury, of course I would. I'm picking Fury to win that fight, but I don't think it's by very much.
Some people say the best opportunity someone's had to beat Tyson Fury has already happened 3 times, which is Deontay Wilder.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, listen, you wouldn't
in that 2018 fight, yeah.
Well, all of them. He dropped him twice in the 3rd fight. Wilder did.
Yeah, the second fight was pretty well.
That was domination.
It was domination, but you almost think that Tyson Fury took his foot off the gas in that 3rd fight, let him back in, and then dusted himself off and went, "What am I doing? Let's get rid of this kid." But that for me was a standout heavyweight fight for a long time. But I think the guy who give him the toughest fight at the moment is definitely a flip up between. Yeah, it's between the 3 of them. It's Joyce, Dubois, and Usyk. If I had to pick one, Joyce.
Yeah. No, I see that as well. By the way, I see it, but I think
just size-wise.
What Tyson does in that fight, he sidesteps him a lot. He hits him with a jab. He moves. He holds him, and he holds on at the end. I don't think he knocks Joyce out, but I think it's a very tough night for him. It could be physically a tougher night than the Usyk fight, rather than kind of mentally in terms of his boxing IQ.
Take more rounds off Fury.
Yeah.
But Joe give him a tougher fight, if that makes sense.
Yeah, absolutely. But the key is, again, and I moan and moan and moan about this every week with IFL, in the Telegraph, on TalkSport, we really need to see some of these big heavyweight fights, because they are becoming more and more reluctant. I hate to pin it on you guys, but they're becoming seemingly more and more reluctant to have these fights, and I don't understand it. And we could be talking about a major era, but if these guys don't fight each other, we'll be talking about more avoided fights than we had fights in 3 years' time.
Well, let's hope that doesn't happen, because because that's all we want to see, all of us.
Yeah, exactly.
We just want to see the big fights, man.
Gareth, thank you very much for making my life easier. Francis, appreciate your time. Thank you very much for the lunch here at Aspinalls today. Best of luck to you guys, 3 of them, on the card this Saturday night live on BT Sport. And let's hope from a British point of view, Joyce does the business well. Yeah. Thanks, guys.
Don't leave me hanging.
Gareth, don't leave me hanging, mate.
Get that out your mouth. That's
I refuse to not be first.
Do we do enough? Well, I never shut up about it.
It must have been about 16, 17. We nicked their guilt rings. Right, the bouncer's guilt ring.
This is no good for me. That's the reality. If you want the honest truth, and I see it every day,